guys. Welcome to my weekly Facebook Live show. I'm Jen Burson. I am the founder and president of Generation PR, an award-winning, I'm going to go like that. It's more centered because we say award-winning. There's our award. So award-winning PR and influencer marketing agency located in Los Angeles. And a little frazzled, I ran downstairs to get my coffee. So let me just take 1 second here. Hi guys. Let me know who's here joining me today. And I am also the creator of Generation Academy. And that is a comprehensive hub of resources online that will help you scale your business, help you find clients that you love, that truly light you up, all strategically building a path towards a business that you're going to love long term. Okay, so again, I see Facebook user, and I'm so sorry. I think that says that when I have somebody who is not, I see Lily. I'm so glad that you're here. Again, it's been a while, Lily, but it says Facebook user for me, and I'm really sorry I can't tell who that is. I think we figured out that if you don't like the Generation PR Facebook page. So if you're in Profitable PR Pros, that's different. But the Generation PR page, because I'm logged in as, it's Kelly. And you do follow, so you don't know why. Oh, I wonder. That's so weird. You actually may be logged in. This is happening to me too. Facebook keeps switching between my business account and my personal account. So I will have a business comment in my personal notifications. And when I click on it, it switches me to Generation PR without me really knowing that it did that. And so it sees me as the business. So right now, I guess I'm going live as Generation PR. And again, it says, hi, Jen. I don't know who that is. So I'm so sorry. Welcome, guys. I'm so grateful that you joined me today. I am, if you've noticed lately, we've been talking all about growing your agency, success of your agency. And that is because I am, hi, Sabrina. Okay, awesome. Okay. Today's topic is going to be all about ways that you can achieve agency growth, no matter where you're starting from, whether you're 6 months in business or 6 months out from starting your business or 16 years in your business or more. We have certainly members of our community who have been running their agencies a lot longer. And the last few weeks, I've been talking all about agency-related topics, business building strategies, being intentional with the kind of work you have, working strategically so that you're building a business that you will love long-term, and creating a strong sense of your values, personal and your professional corporate values, so that decisions become really easy for you, so that you're able to know an absolute yes, without a doubt, this is the right thing for me. Let's try to make it work. Or a for sure, this is not the right fit, no matter how much money, no matter how much I could use the work. And actually, very interesting. I had a call earlier today with a friend of mine who runs an agency. We've known each other for probably about 17 or so years. We pass work back and forth if we're conflicted out. And she has an opportunity to promote a cannabis brand. And she is like, is that going to hurt my brand? And I said, you know what? It's very mainstream right now. I don't think it will be detrimental to your reputation. And she called me and she said, Jen, I'm really struggling with this personally. I personally don't want to be aligned with a recreational drug company because even though it's legal, I still wouldn't promote cigarettes. It's not aligned with who I am. I wouldn't promote alcohol because it's just not aligned with who I am. I'm a mom of 3, and I worry that cannabis could be a gateway drug. This is very like Nancy Reagan, DARE era, talking points. But a lot of people do feel that that's where it starts. And then it could, there's a, drug epidemic in this country. And she just said, my personal values don't align. And while I could use the money, while I would love that, I don't feel good about that. And I said, there you go. There's your answer. You should not have to sacrifice your personal values, your corporate values to make money in your business. You just absolutely should not. And that's why it's really essential and important to have corporate values, your personal values, because decisions become a lot easier. I want to welcome everybody and thank you for joining me today. So far, I see Lily, Kelly, Sabrina, but anyone else that says, hi, guys, I can't see the name. So if you're here, just pop your name in there just so I know who it is. And I don't know why so many people I'm not able to see so many people's names, but that's my challenge there, is just so you guys know what I'm dealing with. So welcome. The reason we're talking all about agency topics is because I am hosting a brand new masterclass from flailing to flowing. And it is going to be where I share my 12-step framework for strategically growing, launching, growing, and scaling, no matter where you are at any stage. And I'm going to drop a link here. So if you are not signed up, you don't want to miss it. It's Monday. It's going to be live and it's totally free. And we are also going to be opening enrollment for my agency accelerator. So the way this masterclass works is it is me teaching you the entire framework that I have used to grow and scale my agency, and hundreds of other members have used to grow their agencies as well. It is built on a foundation that has a strategy to it. It is my framework that I developed. It's what I've used to grow my business. And it is very logical, makes a lot of sense, and it's very doable. So my goal for you is, if you spend time with me on Monday when I am sharing this masterclass with you, I want you to walk away ready to take action. I want you to walk away with a very clear strategy so you know what you're doing in your business, you know what to do next. Yes, I did drop the link here. It says Generation PR from flailing to flowing. I'm not sure if you can see it. Want to say hi to Alicia and Quincy and Grace and Kathy. Welcome, and thank you so much again for being here. So let's dive in. I'll drop the link here again. It's also in the description of so the challenge is, somebody may be watching on Profitable PR Pros and not seeing the link that I put that might appear in Generation PR. It's one of the challenges of broadcasting in two separate places. Let me just see if I can find myself on Profitable PR Pros and then drop the link there. I think that's what's happening. So let me just do that really quickly. I see myself. Okay. And I can see your names here. Let me just do that. See if you guys see that. That should help. Okay, so I see Meredith, I see Alicia, good, and Quincy. Yeah, that's helpful. All right, guys, let me jump in here. We are going to talk about focusing your energy on what really matters in your business. Let's boost agency growth. Hold on, I see the mic, or not the mic. Hold on, I know I have like a cloth here that I use to clean jewelry, but I don't know where it went. I want to clean the camera. I feel like I've got that smudgy. I did it again. Hold on one sec. I think I have a cloth somewhere over here. You guys remember, like, back in the Desperate Housewives days, it was like early HD. And I remember it always looked like there was Vaseline on the lens, because it's like HD, but they still wanted all the actresses to look really like dreamy. So my lens kind of looked like that. It was a little smudged. That should be better. So hopefully that helps. We are going to walk away today with how you're going to learn how to become a better more strategic, stronger entrepreneur as your business expands. We're also going to talk about these 8 killer strategies that are going to help you keep your agency right on path, right targeted for major growth. And the big one, the big not so secret, everybody needs to really understand this. It took me a little while, but when I looked back in retrospect, I was like, oh my God, that was the key all along. Niching down is going to boost your agency growth. Setting boundaries will boost your agency growth, not hinder it. The big one is niching down. And I know it's scary because we worry we're going to say no to opportunities and say no to revenue. But niching down, specializing not only in the kinds of businesses you serve, but the work you do. So how you serve them. Those are both niches. What do you do for them? Don't do all the things. We're going to talk about that. So again, you guys jump on to the webinar, just sign up for it, From Flailing to Flowing. I'll drop a link here and in the comments on, I guess that I probably have to do this from now on because I see you guys are not getting the links if I post it on the other. But Monday, we go live 11 a.m. Pacific. And if you ask a question ahead of time, I will be able to respond to you. And I just want to make sure when you enroll, if you ask me anything and want to know how, like what your biggest challenge is in your business and how to overcome it, I can tailor the content to support you. So there's a benefit to being there live. But we, as entrepreneurs, leaders of our businesses, the goal is always to create a healthy business, one that has the opportunity for exponential growth. And that's the case no matter how long we've been in business, whether we're brand spanking new and you're like, I got to have clients to make money, or if you've been doing this for a long time, you know, you're an established agency owner, it could look a little different. Maybe it's focusing on expanding your offerings or hitting a huge revenue milestone. This is always the goal. Maybe if you're new to entrepreneurship, the goal could just be finding 1 to 2 new clients at your desired rate. And that's really reaffirming. It's really validating to raise your rates or set your rate based on your value and achieve it because you're like, okay, that's what someone's willing to pay. That's what I'm worth. So it could be you're brand new, you're seasoned. No matter where you are in your agency journey, you can grow. There's always room for growth. It's like I tell my kids all the time when they don't want to practice something. The basketball players that are NBA best in the world, top of their game literally, practice every single day, even in the off season. They practice. So even if you are the best, there's always room to be better. And, you know, it's about knowing that there is room for growth, focusing your energy where it really matters, and aligning your daily priorities with your goals, which also means setting goals, right? And knowing what you're working towards. And I talked about this on our agency accelerator call yesterday, writing your goals down and having them visible and setting them out by month. And I'm looking over my computer because I have my battle board on the wall behind me over there on the other side of the room, right past the Peloton that I haven't been on in quite a while. But we're not going to talk about that. Personal and professional agency goals, visible. So set those goals and remind yourself of them every single day. This is the way to create real change. This is the way that you're going to build your dream business and boost your business growth no matter what stage you are in your career. It is setting the goals, looking at them, breaking them down to daily actions that will help you chip away and move towards those goals. So let's talk about 8 ways that you can boost your agency growth. The first is focusing on mindfulness. It will help you, mindfulness will help you stay grounded and present in your agency no matter what's on your plate. It will help you stay calm when maybe you would normally run around stressed, feeling like your hair's on fire or like you're spinning your wheels and you're really just not getting anywhere. And that feeling of being revved up inside when you are metaphorically spinning your wheels in your business. Mindfulness practices can give you an extra burst of energy, give you an extra burst of focus, which will help you power through these big projects, big overhauls in your business, whether that's your proposal that you're completely restructuring or your website you're redoing or your brand positioning or onboarding a new client and trying to create a strategy for them. These big projects that take focus and creativity and that sort of working in your zone of genius. The mindfulness will help you figure out how to approach these tough strategies that will actually move the needle in your business. So there's a ton of mindfulness practices that you can incorporate into your day. A couple, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments, what kind of mindfulness practices do you have? But there's anything from journaling, keeping a gratitude journal. Anyone who's joined my program recently knows that I send out my favorite gratitude journal so that you can start to incorporate this mindfulness of practicing gratitude every single day. Super easy. Don't overthink it. I mean, you could be grateful for, I'm grateful for Pebble Ice. I love my Pebble Ice. It makes me so happy every time I get my little Pebble Ice every day. Something just, what it does is it keeps you focused on being present. And I want you to change it up every day. It's not just like, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my business. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my, my loved ones, my relationship, whatever. Little things, big things, small, seemingly inconsequential, noticing things. Just the act of noticing forces you to be present. And when you're present, your mind isn't wandering. First of all, you're not on social. You're not scrolling your phone mindlessly. You're also not worrying about the what ifs and the future possibilities. Meditating is also a fantastic, don't be overwhelmed of like, I've got to get in and feel like I'm, floating and on a high. And really, it's just about consistency. And I can probably see here. Journaling, Kathy. Oh, hi, Kathy. Journaling, meditation, attitude of gratitude. That's exactly me too. And Meredith says practicing and teaching yoga. Wow. Workout every morning after I drop off the kids. It helps me be clear. A lot of people have that same morning practice. For me, it is walking the dog. I was waiting for her to look at me like, did somebody say W-A-L-K? And I'm worried she's going to start to learn how to spell because we always spell it. And if you say the word, her ears perk up and she tips her head to the side. It's always like, you want to go for a walk? She's over there. I'm just making sure she doesn't think I'm taking her. She'll start banging on my leg under the desk. Like, take me now. But the key with any of these practices, and that's what I have to go back and forth between my two. Meredith said, when she said every day, it's the consistency aspect. With anything you want to change, anything, I mean, it could be anything at all, being consistent. It's these little atomic habits, the James Clear book. It's just these small, tiny habits every single day that create lasting impact, like brushing your teeth. If you don't brush your teeth every single day, it might not matter day to day, but in the long run, you're going to have a lot of problems with your teeth. But if you brush and floss every single day, in the long run, you will have healthy mouth, healthy gums. It's like hard to see the incremental gains or losses, but it's a long-term consistency outcome. So mindfulness practices are most powerful and impactful when they are done every single day. So try to carve out a bit of time to recenter yourself, get present, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes a day. Sometimes that could be just walking outside, feeling the sun on your skin, taking a deep breath, maybe take your shoes off. It's called grounding. Just walk around on the grass. Feel your feet connected to the earth. Take your dog for a walk. Listen to an inspiring podcast. Listen to the Pitching Powerhouse podcast. Anything that you can do just to get present. And that's what mindfulness does, gratitude does. It's noticing, how does my butt feel in the seat? Like, you're all sitting here right now, right? How many of you are thinking about how your butt feels in the chair? Not until I just said it, right? You're not thinking about how your clothes feel on your body. There's so many sensations that you just tune out every day. Sometimes you tune everything out and you get into your head and you start thinking and worrying about the future, or like kind of spiraling, when you're forced to be present and notice the things around you. And that's what gratitude does, is it forces you to look for things that you're grateful for, especially when you change it every single day. So that's why I'm like, oh, I love my little bandolier phone case, because I can have my driver's license, my credit card. You can put the magnet for charging right through the case. You don't have to take it off. And then I put it on the little strap and put the poop bags in the little pouch. And I take the dog for AWALK. She doesn't know how to spell yet. And I'm so grateful for it. So, you know, you don't always have to be grateful for things. You could be grateful for people, feelings, smells, you know, sights, trips, whatever, experiences, of course. But that forces you to be present, and that will help ground you. So mindfulness every day, whatever works for you. Whatever works for me might not be for you. So try what works for you. Number 2 is become a more intentional agency owner. Intentionality is a huge part of working toward your growth goals at any stage of your business. So in something that is intentional, it's done on purpose, it's planned, it's done by design. Being intentional will mean that you're being deliberate and you're purposeful in your decisions. It's not being reactive. It's not just responding to things that come your way because somebody else says this needs your attention in the moment, or I want to work with you, so you have to work with me. Growing your agency strategically, the way that I teach it, yeah. Hi guys. Hi Jane. Hi Chrissy. Growing an agency takes a major dose of intentionality. You can't waste time, energy, and resources on things, on projects and clients and work and niches and services that hold you back from whatever goals you have. Like we had in our agency accelerator call yesterday, Chrissy and Jane were both on that call. We had a member who said, I always get political work. I always just seem, and I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but I always get that kind of work. Well, being intentional would make you realize that you don't like how it feels and you don't want to continue down that path. All of the work you do, it's stepping stones towards more of that, bigger clients, more relationships, more case studies that you can show the kind of work you do. So if you don't like a certain kind of work, don't do it. You have to be intentional with those decisions. When you decide to implement intentionality into your business, you're deciding that you're only going to take action on the things that are the most important to you, that are the most enjoyable to you, that will streamline your agency's offerings so that you can delegate the tasks that aren't the things you love to do. They're not in your zone of genius. Maybe they're necessary to run your business. So you're not saying no to all of it. Like if you don't like reporting, which I don't, you don't like metrics and numbers, you can't say to clients like, no, I don't like numbers. I'm not doing reporting. But you can outsource that piece of it, so that you're not spinning your wheels and creating some kind of, mess for yourself doing a service, a piece of the service that you don't really love. You can outsource that. You can create a process. We have a process inside of the Agency Accelerator for reporting. We show how to make clips. I do them myself because I love them looking a certain way and the clients love them. So I show you in 2 seconds how to do it. But more realistically, 2 minutes. Train a team member on how to do it so you don't have to be the one to do it. You can be intentional with your time and dedicate yourself to high impact tasks while your team can take care of the everyday responsibilities, the day-to-day execution that might be that bread and butter of the business. They get the results. You're the strategic visionary of your company, the strategic CEO role, and you know how to leverage those results to attract more clients. You're the one that's creating a strategy to roll them out visibly on social media. That's where your effort is best served. So it's about being more intentional as the leader of your business, intentional with your time, intentional with the work you take on, all of the things that are going to help you build your business strategically into something you love. Number 3, know your value. Chrissy, know your value. And I'm singling her out because we talked about raising rates, and she's doing just that. She's amazing at what she does. Story brand certified, if you know what that is, like she adds immense value to her clients. Lots of agency owner growth comes from landing new clients and taking on larger retainers, but you have to have the courage and confidence to go after those opportunities and to ask for what you are worth and what value you provide and the rate that you desire. You have to have that confidence. So limiting beliefs that you may have around your value as an agency owner will hold you back at any stage of your career. You know, kind of feeling like I've been doing this for so long. Am I relevant anymore? Or I'm so brand new to this. Will anyone take me seriously? These are limiting beliefs that are holding you back. You know, just because you have 5 or more years of entrepreneurship under your belt does not mean that self-doubt can't sneak its way in. It happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us at any given time for whatever reason. So these limiting beliefs can be about anything. It could be your skills, your ability to secure the results that you're telling clients you can for them, the price of your retainer, feeling like, oh my God, can I actually deliver on this? You know, I'm asking for all this money. Am I really worth it? This happened to another member of ours who's like, I was pitching for business and I got the budget. And when I heard the number, it was so much that I started to get a little bit of imposter syndrome. And I said, are they asking for things that you have never done? Are they asking for things that you don't know how to do? Are they asking for that budget to go towards like a bunch of really time-consuming services that you don't typically do? And she said, no, it's just a budget higher than what we normally charge. It would be our biggest retainer ever. And it makes me feel imposter syndrome. And I was like, get it, figure it out. You will be fine. I promise you. But that number really makes you second guess if you can deliver. And, it also can impact having that doubt will impact your ability to work with big clients. You know, you'll say, well, they can work with anyone. Why would they choose me? I work from home. Well, now everybody does. But back in the day when I started 18 years ago, I always felt like, oh my God, this company has the huge budget. They can work with anyone, a big New York agency with offices and people buzzing all around. It's just me. You know, well, I have a team, but like I'm in my office, there's a cat on my desk, you know, like back in the day, Harley, we miss Harley, but I have my 2 kitties, I've got my dog. Are they going to want to work with me? Are they going to see us as rinky dink? No. You know, that's your belief. If you have the results, you have the case studies, you have the relationships, you have the expertise. This is why niching down is so important. They want to work with the best. And if you're the go-to in your niche, they will pay whatever it takes to work with you. They don't care where you are, how big your team is. You're actually, you know, streamlining, which is very savvy. So limiting beliefs around your skills or the price you're asking for, your ability to work with big clients, that is going to impact your confidence when you go after those opportunities. So the best way to ward off limiting beliefs and keep your confidence levels high is to know your full value as an agency owner. You have these sought after skills. You have these relationships you've cultivated over the years. You have valuable industry know-how that clients need. They want to work with you because of your unique talents, the experience, the results you've gotten. No one else brings to the table what you can. even somebody in your niche, exactly in your niche. Like we had a call, actually yesterday's call was really good to dovetail into this topic because a lot of these things came up. And one of them was the only woman of color owned PR firm. There were two. So in the area. And the other one was had a bad reputation, had a reputation of burning bridges. And so nobody else could bring to the table what our Agency Accelerator member could, because in her area, specializing in her niche, being a female, person of color, she's the only one that could do that in her area with her reputation. And so that same thing goes for you. Nobody else has your unique talents, experience, relationships, results, expertise, all of those skills and characteristics of yourself that will make you indispensable to clients. No one else can bring to the table what you can. We show you how to find that uniqueness in yourself, your past experience, leveraging it for a unique approach to the services you provide so that you know how to position yourself when you're pitching your business for new work. So focusing on these positive thoughts instead of negative ones, that's a big mindset shift to make, but it is crucial to your success. Simple mindset shifts, which is why we're going to cover one of the pillars that I'm going to teach on Monday around strategy is all about your mindset mastery. And it's where we start, because a lot of you will come into running your business with these preconceived notions that are really holding you back. So we're going to tackle that. That's one of the first things we tackle. And one of the most important things we tackle, and this I mentioned before, I mention it pretty much every time I do a Facebook Live. Number 4 is niche down your business. I've said it a million times, and I will say it. I'll sing it till the cows come home. You have to niche down. And when you narrow down who you work with, you hone in on a specific industry, a specific client type, whether it's individuals versus companies, whether it's nonprofits, government contracts, B2B companies, tech companies, a big company, or a individual entrepreneur. Authors is like an individual versus a big company. And you also niche down on the set of services that you're uniquely able to offer your clients. Those two sort of narrowing down of decisions, that is niching down in your agency. And it should be something that you truly love, something that really lights a fire in you, that will get you excited to be at work every single day. Because when you do this the right way, you are going down a path where you're getting bigger relationships, opportunities, revenue, through retainer fees that you're able to charge, because you are choosing work that you want to specialize in, and you're going to get to know the industry, all of the movers and shakers, the media contacts, what's buzzy, what's trending in that industry. And you're going to be doing this for a long time so that you can build a business long term that takes advantage of that experience and those contacts and the industry know-how that you've worked so hard to dive into and get to know. So you will not be motivated to grow your business, to bring on more work, if you feel disconnected from the kinds of clients you're serving, or it's a part of your life that you're no longer that into. And this happens, I've seen it with like the wedding industry. People get married and they're like, I specialize in bridal. And it's like, I got married 16 years ago. I don't care about the bridal industry anymore. Like, I cared about it when I was going through it, but now I can't imagine for 16 years still working in the bridal space, because it has nothing to do with my life. I work in beauty and cosmetics because I happen to just love the space so much. Still love it. It's the reason I left law. I loved the I loved the beauty space, skincare, hair care, color cosmetics, all of the things. Love it. Devices, my LED client is like, love them so much. They're amazing. They're the best. Love them. So you want to do something long-term. I'm 18 years later and I still love the work I'm doing. Baby and kids also. I like that space because it feels very manageable to me. And when I first started, I didn't actually have kids, but I knew I would, and I knew that I would want to know. It has changed dramatically since I had kids. My youngest is 11, my oldest 13, but I still really love the space because it is really manageable to know everything that's going on in the space. And we are very established and we get really high retainers in that niche. And I was just listening to Mel Robbins' podcast about body language, and I swear the person who was like talking about people that lie would say touching your face is a sign. I'm not lying. I have like dog fur on my nose. So I'm like watching myself going, oh, I look like I'm lying because I'm touching my hair and touching my face. Anyway, not lying. That is like, people come to us and our rate can be really high because we have the results and the case studies to back it up. So I want you to feel connected to that work. And I know there's this like belief, and it's a limiting belief, that people feel getting super specific with your agency and who you serve, the kind of work that you do, that may hinder your growth. But I promise you, that is the opposite. This is the key to working less and making more money. When you niche down, you cultivate that expertise in your chosen industry. It lets you establish your authority, your credibility with the media, create those relationships, and then you're the go-to. And for media contacts, they'll come to you. And for clients, they'll seek you out. And clients of all sizes and budgets, they're looking for that extensive knowledge, and they're going to pay a premium for your experience, that network of connections you've made, and the resources that you have. So that's why niching down can be the fastest way to grow and scale your business. I see Facebook user here. Let me see who said it over here. Quincy, hi. He said, been there. I came from charging $0 just to test my skills, which is awesome. It was hard to pivot and finally ask for money because he didn't know how to actually put a price on what he was doing, despite landing Holy Grail Media. Yeah, well, two things there. Number one, Quincy, good for you. It's easier to pivot to paid when you have that conversation ahead of time and you talk about how much runway you're going to give a $0 retainer, 3 months maybe, just to kind of get it going. And then after that, you'll start charging and you'll let them know it's going to be below market, but I do have to start charging if you want to continue. And number two, those Holy Grail results, and I sure hope you charged $0 to a business in a niche you want to work in long term, but those $0 results are worth their weight in gold because now you can leverage them for case studies. So especially if you've landed top tier press, those are all stepping stones towards bigger paying clients. So good for you. And that's exactly how I did it. Started for free and worked up to like kind of an entry level rate, and then worked up to, premium retainers, all while leaning into niching down. That's when I was able to charge more. So I think that's a great strategy, Quincy. Good for you. Number 5, you got to protect yourself from burnout. It is a major problem for every entrepreneur, and especially for agency owners that have a ton of projects going on. Hi, Nicola. Burnout, major problem. I have experienced it myself. I can sense when it's coming, and I will lean into asking for more help. I have no problem asking for help. I'm not worried about delegating. I'm like, delegate. I will ask for help at home. You can sense it, and you've got to really pay attention to that. It is burnout is like this long-term stress that will leave you really exhausted, all kinds of ways, emotionally, physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. You're not going to be able to execute any projects to your standards or to continue generating really fantastic results for your clients when you're just not feeling it. And it can lead to procrastination. That's how it manifests in me, a lack of creativity, a sense of dread every time you sit down at your desk or every time the phone rings or you see an email come in from a certain client. Some of those tend to be red flag clients. We talk all about the red flag, signs, the red flags, and how to avoid them. And that's all inside the Agency Accelerator. It is a huge piece of being the leader of your business is paying attention to that intuition that kind of shows up as those red flags at all stages, even the sales process, especially at the sales process. You can really cut off that risk of going down a path that's going to be quite painful for you and your team when you pay attention to that intuition at the sales phase. But you, as the leader of your business, the visionary CEO that we are guiding you to step into that role, you can't lead your team. You can't guide your agency and propel it closer to your goals if you're working from this place of burnout and exhaustion, builds resentment. So you have to be aware of when it's happening for you and protect yourself from burnout. And that is a key part of maintaining that consistent agency growth. It should be a top priority for agency owners of all experience levels. And so to prevent burnout, it's going to look different for everyone, but you need to listen to what is happening in your body, how you're feeling. Listen to yourself. Don't ignore or overlook those feelings you have. What do you need from your personal life, from your team, from your clients, from your partner? You have to set those boundaries where you need them and ask for the support you need. And don't be afraid to disconnect from work and take time off when you need to. I know a lot of agency owners feel like if they're on retainer, they need to be sitting at their desk like this, pitching. And if they say to a client, hey, I'm taking 2 weeks off when the kids are out of school and we're going to all the national parks in Utah and I'll be back third week of July. We worry about that. We are afraid a client will say, what am I paying you for? First of all, the way we teach agency growth, you're going to put a team in place. That's part of it. And your team will be able to support you while you're traveling. That's part of it. But you have to delegate those tasks to your team. It also means saying no to projects that aren't aligned with your goals and really only working in things that energize you instead of drain you. And that is a huge part of warding off burnout. But setting those boundaries, taking that time and claiming it and just doing it, because you're not good to anybody. You're not good to clients, your family, your team, anybody, yourself, if you're drained and if you're exhausted and I say, I'm at the end of my rope. I just can't do another thing. And I'll just kind of remove myself for a short period of time. Maybe it means I need a little overnight staycation with my husband and we go somewhere together, or we take an afternoon off and go for a hike with our dog or go to a happy hour, whatever it is, just to kind of regroup. Or I'll, take an hour and just walk, listen to a podcast that inspires me, listen to some energizing music, dance break. Sometimes I just act like a goofball and it just re-energizes me. But that long-term burnout, it doesn't just happen overnight. There are signs and you have to listen to yourself, your body, and then get what you need to take care of yourself. Number 6, and what are we calling this? Hold on. On ways that you can boost your agency growth, no matter where you are, is it's going to creep up, maybe, but we have to learn how we can overcome imposter syndrome. Okay, give me a heart or a thumbs up if you've ever experienced imposter syndrome as you're building your business. Gives me a second to sip my iced coffee. Every agency owner, I believe every agency owner will deal with imposter syndrome at some point, possibly again and again, no matter where you are, you've probably already dealt with it. It is when you feel unqualified to be where you are and possibly undeserving of your own success. Seriously, thumbs up, heart, nobody's felt imposter syndrome. I fail to believe that. Maybe I'm missing it. It's also a check-in, a warm body check-in. Are you guys still here? Am I live? Can you hear me? None of you have felt imposter syndrome. I know that's not true. Where are you? Can you hear me? Let me just check that I'm live. Oh, maybe I'm way behind here. Oh, okay. Yes, I have definitely. Okay. Got it. Okay. So that's when you feel unqualified, undeserving of success. Still here. Hi. Okay, good. Nicola, glad to hear that. It comes with a lot of anxiety and fear over being perceived as a fraud and suddenly losing what you've worked for, or feeling like you have stepped into a role or agreed to do something that you worry that you're actually capable and competent to deliver on. And a lot of people will experience these feelings when they get stuck in a cycle of comparing themselves to their peers, or maybe it's been a little while, they haven't gotten the results they're used to. Maybe for the first time, they're kind of feeling like they're spinning their wheels, or they're sending pitches and they're not getting any replies. Feeling like a fraud will leave you scared and anxious, and it'll keep you from going after new opportunities, from putting yourself out there. You won't put your best foot forward with a new project or a dream client proposal if you feel like you are not deserving of it. I know the member of our agency accelerator who was putting a proposal together for that really high budget the client had. She had imposter syndrome because she was like, am I going to deliver? And just because the budget was higher doesn't mean that their expectations were higher. In fact, they trusted her because they know that she knows exactly what she's doing in that niche. And so because she's so great at what she does in that space, they were willing to pay whatever it's going to cost for her services, which is why the budget was so juicy. So, it really can take, your confidence will take a major hit when you have imposter syndrome. But I'm here to tell you it can be overcome. One of the keys is niching down, improving your skills, developing your expertise on a particular subject. Members of our community, even well-established, seasoned pros, come into our programs and are reassured that they are doing it right. They may learn, they're going to learn something new. And I can say that because as we're putting the content together, we learn so much all the time. We have to kind of be top of the game and what's happening trend-wise, because if we're putting content out to train the experts, which are all of you, then the content has to be stellar, current, what's happening now. And so I'm learning all the time. And when you are reassuring yourself that you're top of your game because you're really dialed into how it's working for other people, that really does help you overcome imposter syndrome. When you find yourself looking at other people's social or comments in profitable PR pros, and you're like, how are they getting this much work? What am I doing wrong? You have to remember, again, you've heard this before, not from me, not just from me, but from so many people that talk about social media. You're comparing yourself to their highlight reel. You're not seeing all of the spinning of the wheels or all of the setbacks. Everyone has setbacks. as well as successes, but we don't always share our failures online, Sometimes we do. I try to, just so that we have all sides. But seeing someone's highlight reel, it's really hard when you know how hard you're working to try to get similar results. You're just seeing them share the victories. So avoid putting unrealistic expectations on yourself. And part of the key is letting yourself fail and learning from those mistakes and not worrying that a fail means you are a failure. Obviously not. These are learning opportunities. When you do get a big win, celebrate it. Knowing with that knowledge that you deserve the success you've achieved. Not that you've lucked into it, or that it's a fluke, or that you're a one-hit wonder, you're a fly-by-night. Know that you deserve that success, and all of that collectively over time will help you overcome imposter syndrome. It is happening when you step into a bigger role, and I look at it, when I feel that feeling, I say, okay, I'm growing. This is a sign that I'm growing in my expertise and in my know-how and in the quality and caliber of the work that I'm doing and in the size and scope of the clients and the work that I'm doing for them. So look at that feeling, recognize it as growth, and know that when you have a big win, you deserve it. You did that. So you're going to overcome imposter syndrome. 7 is I want you to prioritize this work-life integration. So I know you've probably heard of work-life balance before. I prefer the concept of work-life integration, which is where you can feel and you will be totally in control of your time, both in and out of office, as it relates to your company, the work you're doing, being in control of who you work with, how you work with them, how much you charge, how you work. Sometimes clients will come in and say, I want da, 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 da. And you're like, well, that's not what we do, or that's not how we work, or that's not typically the way it works around here. Tell them that. This is your business. You're in charge of it and how you work, and how your working life will allow you the flexibility and freedom that you want in your personal life. To me, that's work-life integration. Balance kind of implies that there's like an equilibrium and everything is equal at all times. And that's just not the case. But work-life integration is all about building a life that aligns with your definition of success. So for me, when I started my career as an attorney, success was my income, the amount of money I was making. It was working in a prestigious job. Like, being an attorney meant I was successful. Why? I have no freaking idea. But I went to a good law school. I passed the bar my first try. I got a job at a fantastic, well-respected law firm. I was making great money, bought a house. I'm a success, right? But I didn't feel successful. Like, on paper, I got it. I was like, okay, but this didn't feel good. It didn't feel like the kind of life that I would want to have long-term, which meant being excited by my work. And it meant, I want to say your name, Najla. I see your question. I'll answer it at the end. I love that question. I'll come back to it, promise. So when I left law and started Generation, my definition changed dramatically. And it meant that I was running a business that I loved, working with clients I loved, generating income that represented the value that I was providing to clients, working with a team that was really fantastic, that was self-guided, because I didn't want to be like I'm not a micromanager. I don't have time for that. I don't like it, and I don't have time for it. So building a team that could manage themselves while also being a super plugged in mom, supportive mom to my kids, being a loving and inspiring and, connected partner to my husband, to being like the team leader of our family. to running a household that I love, being in, like a house that feels calm and, like I love being in my space. It makes me feel happy and it makes me feel centered. And having time to do all of those things. That was success to me. So my definition changed. And this work-life integration should give you a flexible schedule to get all of your work done while still resting, fostering strong relationships with the people that matter most to you. That's really important. That's important to me. I hope it's important to you. I don't just want us to be like out, of course we love making a lot of money in our business, but not at the sacrifice of relationships and your health, your mental and physical health. So putting your work-life integration first will mean that you have to set boundaries. It will mean you have to say no. And it's going to mean that you structure your agency to support your vision for your life. You don't need to say no to clients and projects, you need to say no to clients and projects that don't serve you so you can dedicate energy to what lights you up and what will make you feel inspired and happy and fulfilled. And you need to charge what you are truly worth to have that revenue foundation that will allow for the agency growth that you need for time off when you need it. Like I said, if you're feeling burnt out, you need to have the ability to take that time off by having a team in place. If you're feeling burnt out, or that every day you need to take an hour for yourself to go for a WALK, or you need to, get yourself centered and meditate for 15 minutes or whatever it is, building your business that way so that it will support that work-life integration that we're all seeking. That's important. So the last one I have for you, the last tip around how you can boost your agency growth and build your dream business no matter what stage you are at in your career, is you can boost your productivity the right way. And I'm all about staying away from hustle culture, and I don't love this like hustle hard, it shouldn't be about that. But you do need to be productive in order to grow your agency. And the thing is, though, that you can get so focused on productivity that you land yourself in a productivity trap. And what this is it'll keep you running in circles, just trying to like cross off stuff on your to-do list. Yes. Nicola's like, WALK? Yes. Because if she hears the word, she'll pop up and be like, let's go. It's time. Soon enough, she's going to be able to spell it because it's, it's like not a stretch to know what that means compared to the word itself. Okay, here's what I mean by productivity trap. This is the wrong way. It is checking off inconsequential tasks, small tasks on your to-do list instead of working on the high impact projects. Productivity traps will divert your energy from what really moves the needle for your business, and it could seriously hinder your growth. And this is when we feel really good of just, gotta call the doctor, cross it off the list, gotta fold the laundry, cross it off the list, or gotta make that graphic for social media, cross it off the list, because it's like a 10-minute thing and you're like, look at me, I'm so productive, I'm doing all the things. But you can instead focus on being intentional with your time and energy and really think through what is going to be the best use of your time before you put it on your calendar and your to-do list. Is this something you can outsource? Does it have to be you? Is this something you can barter and trade? If you don't have the money to outsource it, can you barter somehow and trade services or trade, I'll do this for you if, carpooling your kid to school. Is there a family? Carpooling is like a bartering system. It doesn't have to be you. If you have somebody nearby for us, it's hard because our school is not our local school. We have to go sort of far away. But we have realized there are other families nearby, and we can take their kids and they can take our kids, and we'll just, kind of plan for that. And these are small ways you can kind of save yourself some time, but looking at a to-do list and just plugging in easy to cross off things, I get it. I love to cross things off my to-do list, but it will get you stuck in this productivity trap where you're just all about crossing things off and not actually spending that time and energy on what matters most. You're just looking at your to-do list like, I got to get this done. I'll do that. I can do this right now. You might get fewer things done in a day, but you'll complete the projects that really matter, and you'll have a major shift. It'll have a big effect on your business by chipping away at these things. And that's why I love, like I'm pointing again to the other side of the room, I have my battle board and my whole year up there divided out by months. So I can see what my goals are and what we're working towards. I look at it every day and I can say to myself, okay, I've got the big picture in mind. I know the goals. I know what's going to move the needle. And this thing that I think that I need to be doing right now, it's kind of not really that. But if I spend a little bit of time focusing on, working up this case study, because we had some fantastic results from clients recently. Oh, and that also means I should ask for a testimonial from that client, because now's a good time for that. They've had a positive experience. Let me ask for it. And now I have a really robust case study with all of these visual results. Don't worry, we teach you all of this. We have templates for how to ask for case studies. We have training on how to create clips, how to create case studies. These are the things that'll move the needle. Leverage those case studies, share them on social, put it in your proposal deck. We have a proposal template for you inside the Agency Accelerator. This whole framework that comes together, the path to profitability that I created that has worked not only for me, but for hundreds of other agency owners, all of these things are part of that framework. And if it's in there, there is a training, there is a resource, there's a checklist, a tip sheet, a proposal template, whatever you need to be most effective at that piece of it. So think about what matters more. Is it another client touch base? A meeting that you feel like you have to have just to you got to meet with clients, you got to give, or, maybe that could have been an email. Like I will say to clients all the time, I'm going over our agenda. We've been communicating consistently. There's nothing new to add. Do we need to meet today? And half the time they'll say, nope, nothing on our end. They probably love it too. So maybe save that time and work on a proposal for your dream client. Work on putting together something so compelling that they say yes to your fee. No negotiation, because you have shown them you are it. They have to work with you because your case studies, your results, your expertise, your contacts, your industry know-how, your niche, deep dive subject matter expertise makes you the one. And you can ask for whatever you want. So getting fewer things done, but getting the right things done, that is going to move the needle in your business. So if you cross off one thing on your to-do list, maybe it's spend an hour going through talking about money. I know you have this question because you brought it up last time too. We talked about it on our Agency Accelerator call. This came up quite a bit. I don't want you trading dollars for hours. Let me go back to the other question because I'm at the end. But what I want to wrap up here with is the link again. Whether you are 6 months or 16 years into, hi Nelson, into your contract with a client, I want you to be able, or not contract, sorry. Let me go back to that. I want you to have a framework that works. If you're Nelson and you've been doing this for, hi Najla, I see your question. Just know I'm going back to you. If you have been working for 30 years on your own, or you're me, 18 years, running your business. There is something to be learned. There are processes that can be improved. There are lessons. There are ways you can generate more revenue, income, intentionally building your business, ways and strategies to learn how to do that faster than than trying to figure it out on your own or doing the same things over and over again. There's always process improvement. And I say this as somebody who is learning all the time. We learn from the community. We build resources based on what they want to know about. Such smart people in this community, and the amount of expertise, know-how, insight, contacts, knowledge that everybody shares is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. Because we have a reputation as PR pros of being very close to the best. These are my secrets. Like, get your own secrets, right? That is not this community. So on that note, I will dive into Najla. Am I saying that right? What do you advise an event planner who wants to work in PR? And I think she said also, have I ever worked with an event planner? Or maybe she took it down. I can't see that. Have you ever worked with an event planner in PR? So I'm assuming you're an event planner and you want to start working in PR. Tell me more about that. Is it working to promote your own events and pitch them to the media? Is it planning the events for a certain business and then also pitching that event for the client that you're doing the event for so that they get visibility for their own event or for their organization, their charity, their cause, their whatever the event is for, their product launch, like assuming you want to join the two. I think that's fantastic. There are a lot of clients that want PR and they want the experiential marketing piece of it also. We don't do that. So I would typically outsource the event side because I don't want to plan events. They stress me out. I had one major event that I did. I did not enjoy it. It made me very, very anxious. I would outsource that. But I think being a one-stop shop in that regard or seeing the need that your clients have on the event side will, on the PR side for their events, will make you very well positioned as this one-stop shop go-to. So the challenge is that you're wearing two hats. And so you have to deal with the timing of it. It's like pre-event. We have inside of the Pitch Lab. So I think, if you want to learn PR, you absolutely must join the Pitch Lab. And I say that not because I want your money, because it's very reasonably priced and it's fantastic. And I'm super proud of it. You guys, anyone in the Pitch Lab, please note that the new execution plan is coming out. It's over 100 pages of juicy editorial calendar goodness. I've never seen one this long before. But let me share the Pitch Lab with you just so you can check it out. If you want to learn PR, you absolutely 100% need to join the Pitch Lab. No brainer. Pricing makes it an absolute no brainer. And Christy says, Pitch Lab is awesome. Totally worth it. Thank you. I don't pay her to say that, but I totally agree. I'm going to snapshot that little comment. Oops. Because I like to capture the kudos. We love that. I'm going to start it. It is worth it. So Najla, get in the Pitch Lab if you want to learn PR. 100%. Absolutely. You must. Okay. So, and she's explaining a little more, work with PR brands, organize an event for those brands, and then connect it to PR. Fantastic. There is going to be a lot of pre-event planning from the event side and then pre-event event runway from the PR side. At the event, you're probably going to need to wear your event planner hat. You have to have a team there that is, you're inviting media to attend, you're managing the press, doing a media alert. This is going to need a team. So you probably would want to have somebody on the PR side that is not actually doing much on the event production side, but absolutely positively the full package of it would include pre-event inviting of the media, filling the room maybe with influencers and the right media contacts and celebrities, if it's that sort of a thing. Doing a media alert, which we have all of this inside the Pitch Lab. There is a masterclass that will blow your mind. Getting event sponsors, we have that in a masterclass. I didn't teach it. We had Stefania Skiru taught it, and we were all minds blown. Like, I tell you, I got more texts, DMs about that masterclass. Anyone who was on it, I know Natasha was there and was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Stefania Skiru taught that one, and it was bonkers. It's so, so good. So get in the Pitch Lab. That's the first thing I would say to you. And then if you're looking for how to build the business around that new service, that's the Agency Accelerator. And we open that on Monday. And I'm going to link you here to the masterclass that you should get into, from flailing to flowing. I think she probably can't see it here. I'm going over here. I'm going to put it here for you. Oops, got to get rid of that. Sorry. Najla, let me just reply. Okay. I'm just going to put it here. Here's the masterclass. Sorry, I jump over there and then the audio comes on. So there's that. And then I know that I'm trying to think of who asked the question. It was, I lost my video. I don't know where it went. Hold on. Let me see. Is it going to make me here? No. Okay. I can't see that comment again, but it was, please, 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 can we talk about money? I really want to hone in on this. I'm currently using a formula of total hours times your hourly rate and your overhead, and your profit margin equals your retainer. I talked about this last week. You asked the same question, right? Can you advise on a better way? As I don't want to be feeling that I'm doing way more than being paid, which would lead to burnout. Not only that, you are leaving massive profit margin on the table. Massive profit margin. Because this implies that the hourly rate, okay, so let's say you're a deep expert and you charge a $500 hourly rate. Great, that's fantastic. So you have that little bit built in, but the longer you've been doing this, the more contacts you have, the more fast track, shortcuts, economies of scale, relationships that you can leverage, the faster your results are. I got a client on Ellen on the Mother's Day show, big deal thing, millions of dollars in media, ad value equivalency. I initially got the yes on a 20-minute, it took me 20 minutes to write a pitch and a 5-minute phone call. So I'm supposed to not get paid for the value that I bring to the table because I was able to fast track that impact because of my expertise and the relationship I had and the way I was able to just do that very quickly. No, it's about the value. A lot of this is finding out what a client's budget is. I don't do a percentage of profit margin because if you're I want to make at least 20% profit margin. Some of my accounts, I have 700% profit margin. I mean, sometimes there are those amazing opportunities where you have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes I want to work with a client so badly because it's going to make us look so good. We're going to get great results. It's a niche I want to get into. I know we're going to have success. There are some results I can leverage that I'm willing to bend and flex and be okay, we're, covering our costs and we're making a bit, I'm making a bit for my time, but it's not like the, amount of profit that I'm used to making, but it's a strategic decision. So I think roughly as a baseline, that's fine. But I never tie anything to my hours. I don't want to have to keep track of my own hours. I was an attorney. That's how you track your time. I hated it. I won't do it. And also my clients never, ever, 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 ever ask me. Never, not once. I don't know. All of these members of my community are always saying, well, clients ask me how much time. I have no idea. They don't ask me. So I would never get into the discussion of time, trading dollars for hours, even as a calculation. But if that's where you want to start as a baseline, fine. And you're saying, this is where I'm struggling, Landed TV, CNN, Forbes, Rolling Stone within minutes. Right. So the formula, yes, totally. So look at the value of these results. It depends on what kinds of clients you have. These are the kinds of things we work through in the Agency Accelerator. And I will say, I can't see your name, but I think, hold on, this is Quincy. Yeah. The Agency Accelerator, we covered this. Sign up for that masterclass. We'll talk about this a bit too. But like Nelson said, never bill by the hour. And, if you calculate even the impact of your results based on the amount of time that you expect to spend on something, you're still always going to be trading dollars for hours. Always. Even if there's a nice profit margin, especially when you leverage a team. Like, I don't want my team to bill hours. I don't want their fee every month to be different. I want it to be the same. So I need to know what, for them, if it's a project, like the monthly fee that they're going to charge me has to be the same. I care about results. That's all your clients care about. They're not paying you for your time, Quincy. They're paying you for the results you get them. They're paying you for those outcomes, right? And they don't care if it took minutes because it's friggin' Rolling Stone and CNN or Forbes. They don't want to say, well, you spent 10 hours landing me a small blog, but 5 minutes on CNN. So I'd rather pay you, for your 5 minutes, or you're billing them for that 5 minutes. That's not how it works. So, and Nelson says, never bill by the hour. It must be a monthly retainer. Absolutely. Same fee every month. Don't even get into a conversation with a client about an hourly rate. Yes, this leads to massive amounts of trouble. Do not talk to them about how much time you're spending. They just want the job done. They want the results. So, but that doesn't mean I'm telling you to only charge them for outcomes. It's in our template contract. It should be in all of your contracts. In the Agency Accelerator, we give you a contract template to start from. Have your lawyer review it, use it as a jumping off point. It's merely a suggestion, but it is built on years and years and years and years of outcomes, things you may not foresee that you have to protect yourself. It's very agency centric, but clients don't push back on us. It is in the contract. Results are not guaranteed, and you get paid in advance of service. So you got to figure this out. Quincy, once you have all of these, results you can leverage, you're going to look, what is it? Is it music industry? What's your niche? It sounds like maybe music industry. $4,500 a month, $5,000 minimum to start, minimum 6 months. That's another thing Nelson and I agree on. Try to get a year, minimum of 6 months, no less. Oh my God, you guys, all the birds in my office. I feel like this cat maybe has another bird. There were 4 birds the other day on Sunday hitting my skylights. Usually it's hummingbirds and I can get them out. It's really stressful. This was 4 birds with like red faces and bodies. They were beautiful, but they were so stressed out. And then as my friend Missy said, they were flying around my office, just stress shitting everywhere. It was horrible. We were like, get out. And now I think the cat is like over there trying to harass some sort of an animal. I don't know. For someone more advanced, a lot more. I mean, it could be $7,500 a month, $9,500, $15,500. It depends what service is. The way we structure our bread and butter is PR. Media relations, getting products in the media. We add influencers. Your clients have money. Like, go for money. Go for, max budget. It's always a negotiation. It's always and when I say negotiation, we do not cut our rates for no reason. We will pull back services, maybe like award submissions. We'll say, here's an award. You can go ahead and submit yourself. But maybe that's built into our proposal. And if they're like, that's not aligned with our budget, I say, well, if I want to work with them and I want to make it work, maybe we'll peel off a few services and lower the rate. So it's like a give and take. I never just go, okay, well, tell me your budget. And then we go, okay, we'll do everything for that rate because you asked. No, it's like it's a negotiation, and you don't want to look like you're just throwing darts or like pulling a number out of your butt. You've got to have some reason for it. So Quincy, can you say what you're currently charging? Like, is it every month you're giving that calculation, or is that you're going in and you're getting a retainer based on that calculation? Are you billing in arrears? So like you will bill for May on June 1st, or are you billing for May on May 1st? Because with a retainer, you are billing the same amount every month, and you bill in advance of service, and your results are not guaranteed. And yes, Nelson agrees, great minds think alike. So Quincy, I know you're serious about growing this business, and you're obviously very good at what you do. You've got to get an agency accelerator. You have to. We're opening Monday, but join that masterclass. I've linked it 100 times here. You will learn so much. You will learn so much. And there's always something to learn for me, for Nelson, for everyone, blah, blah, blah. Retain on that formula. Yeah. And like, what if you are getting Forbes, CNN, and it took you 3 hours, but you billed for 10. Do you feel like you have to keep driving forward for those 10 hours to justify that retainer? Or would you be like, I got you 3 top tier mentions this, oh, good. Okay, great. I'm glad you're in. Or would you say like, I got you 3 top tier mentions. Like, it's a good month. Like, you don't have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing just to get those hours in, So there's a lot to learn. My goal is fewer, better clients, higher retainers, longer retainer contracts. It is a solid foundation of consistent, predictable, recurring retainer revenue with maximum profitability. That's what we're going for. So I'm glad you signed up, because you're in the right spot. So I think I answered everyone's questions. This was a long one. This is the last one before we do our masterclass. So I hope you can join me. It's going to be really good. It's never been taught in this way before, brand new, live, and I can't wait to see you there. It's going to be really actionable, informative, and again, if you're watching the replay, check the comments. There's lots and lots of links. Check the description of this live, because there is a link to sign up for From Flailing to Flowing. Let's lock it in. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this community. I thought I could do it all alone and figure it out. Did that for 3 years. Still stumbled on this amazing group a couple months ago. I'm so glad you did too, Quincy. This group has been so impactful for me, and we're working with members all over the world. And it's been one of my greatest joys, just building this community and meeting new members like, Chrissy and Jane and Nelson and you and all of the people that are here making this community awesome. So thanks for sharing your questions, your know-how, and I cannot wait to see all of you on Monday or Thursday for the From Flailing to Flowing Masterclass, where I give you the 12-step framework for growing and scaling a profitable agency on your terms. So thanks, Nicola, for being here all the way from Dubai. And I will talk to you guys soon. Join me on Monday or Thursday, and have a great week until then. See you then. Bye, guys.